Good morning. It is 6:51 a.m. on Monday. I feel like I just heard my phone buzz across the room, but I think it was my imagination. It's an hallucination. What was I saying? 6:52 a.m. on Monday, April 9th, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I think it was actually something outside that I heard vibrating. So yesterday was my birthday, and it was fine. I went to see the movies. I went to the movies. I saw A Quiet Place, which I'll talk about more in a minute. And then I, came home and I went for a walk down by, out by the river, and the weather was nice. And then I hung around and I talked to my family, made plans with my brother who's going to come visit me on next weekend. And what else did I do? I rewatched Spider-Man: Homecoming because I'm going to be on a podcast to talk about it. Um, and what else? I played some VR games. Um, Specifically, the ones that I played last night were Ready Player One themed. Um, they called it the Oasis Beta, and they were pretty good. I mean, it was a little content slim, honestly, but what was there was well presented, and that was pretty fun. And then I drew some maps for upcoming stuff in so many levels, and on the whole, I'd say I think it was a pretty good birthday. Did fun stuff. hmm 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 A Quiet Place, I'll talk about too, is very good. I mean, you have to be on board for seeing a horror movie because it is one. It's not a slasher movie. It's more like suspense monsters. There are certainly jump scares for sure. So if that's something you are especially sensitive to, yeah, suspense, jump scares, tension. Um, there's not a lot of gore, but there's a little bit. Not too bad. On the scale of gore in horror movies, I would say it's relatively little, but some. And but yeah, I mean, I would definitely say it's scary. So everyone needs to know their own sort of tolerance for scariness in horror movies. But it's very good. The basic premise, if you haven't seen the previews or anything, is that you know there's some kind of monster that can only hear you. It can't see, but it can hear really well. And it's not 100% clear what's happened to the rest of the world, but it's very clear that this family is more or less on their own. Um, and they're basically just trying to survive and get by while trying to be as quiet as possible all the time. And it's not a super high concept premise, as horror movies go, but it's very well executed. And the monsters are definitely very scary. There's a lot of creative things that this family has done to help them be as quiet as possible. Um, the whole family knows sign language, and the in story presented reason for that is that one of the children, the oldest, is deaf. And just on a note of representation, they cast a deaf actress to play that character, and I think good. That's definitely something that as society is becoming more aware of the need for representation in all forms. I mean, a lot of people are more representation in terms of different races, different cultures, and so on is something that I think a lot of people and even just women is something that people are more aware of. But I think part of that whole process of becoming more aware of these things is that the idea of especially if you are already having a character be disabled in some way, there are lots of actors who have their own disability that you know, would be excellent choices for those characters. And so, in any event, I don't want to go too far down that road necessarily, except just to say that I was glad to see that they cast a deaf actress, and so there was, it brings an authenticity. And she's very good too in the movie. It's an important role in the movie, and so this whole family has done all these creative things. Um, it's very scary. It's intense. You really care about all of the characters, I think. And um, I had a tiny quibble about one moment where it just felt like there was like, wait, how did the monster even get there? Why was it there? It's very minor. I had a slightly bigger complaint about, without getting too into it, there's a nail, like, like a hammer and nails. Um, there's a nail that plays a significant plot point role at some point in the movie. Um, I won't say how, but my only quibble was just that it made no sense for the nail to be in that location. Like, there's just like, you see where the nail is, and it's just like, why would there be a nail there? It makes no sense. um, so that irritated me, just because it felt like they could have taken 15 minutes and found a better place for it to be. um, but whatever. Or just made the thing that happens because of that. um, they could have just had that happen some other way. And so um, I don't begrudge what happens in the movie as a result of that, as much as just as presented. When you see this nail on screen, I just look at it and I say, why would there be a nail there? It makes no sense. So that is 100% a big nitpick in an otherwise great movie. But that particular one bugged me. Not nearly enough to even really diminish my enjoyment of the movie, but anyway, I just sort of felt like the rest of the movie is so good. That one just, I guess, in a lot of cases, I suppose, in a lot of horror movies generally, there's all sorts of things that are, you're, if you get into the point where you're taken out of the movie and thinking about questions of why would there be a nail there, the goal is to not have you in that headspace, right? And generally speaking, I was not in the movie, but that particular one, yeah. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and leave it there for today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.